So a while ago, we saw me build my PC. Today, we're gonna go over the second part of my setup series, is what I'm gonna call it. I'm not actually sure, I'm not totally sold on that. Basically, we're gonna break it down video by video of different parts of my setup. This one, we're gonna do monitors. I thought it would make sense. I was thinking that I would group these kind of to the categories that made sense to me. For a while, I only had one monitor, but now recently, and when I say recently in context, this is been 3 or 4 months. So take that with a grain of salt. It's not really recent, but I have a second monitor. And if you saw by the title, it was a 29-inch monitor. So a ultra wide kind of, but I didn't use it as a main monitor. I used it as a vertical side monitor for my OBS and other stuff. But before we get into my monitors, let's jump into me actually unboxing and setting this stuff up. So yeah, you can see how much I struggle. Now, for context, this was done like 6 months ago, and you can see me beat my my tripod here and trying not to do it again and failing miserably. No, yeah, okay, yeah, I did it. Now, you can probably already see from obviously the title of the video and from the box that I got myself the QD OLED from Alienware, the 34-inch, and this thing came with a beefy, I mean beefy monitor stand. This thing is like the most bulky, heavy thing I've ever seen hold up a monitor, aside from a monitor arm. Obviously, it came with some cables. It actually came with a lot of cables. I think it came for a cable for each input, which was like display ports and HDMIs, all that mattered. And then we saw the monitor, which, yeah, you're gonna get to see me try and set this up on a monitor arm. It was not easy. That's so cool. So after seeing me nerd out over a monitor, after setting up and connecting the display port, you can see me set up the actual refresh rate where we got up to that 175 hertz. So the frame rate got pretty high up, and we got to get 1440 resolution on an ultra wide, which was pretty sick. 8-bit rate RGB. For some reason, it doesn't go higher than 8-bit on this rate. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Also, side note, because of the vertical monitor, I had to get rid of my old boom arm. I decided to put this part in this video, but technically the mic portion of the setup it's going to be in a separate video, but decided I show this just for context. I did switch out the boom arm. You can see I went for the low profile one from Elgato. I'll go more into it in the other video, but here you can see both the monitors are on, and the setup looks pretty sick. There's a lot of real estate for me to do things, and you can kind of see how I have OBS and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of the layout. I would show you what I'm looking at right now, but it's basically the same thing. The camera is missing in what you just saw because I used it to record. Sorry, it was a little shaky, but yeah, I couldn't find anything else to record with. I mean, I did have my phone, but I thought, that's a little B-Tech even for me. So I was like, let me make sure it at least looks nice. But yeah, no, there's a lot of monitor real estate. I thought with these videos I'd kind of explain why I chose what I chose. I kind of tried doing that during the PC building video, and I know some people were like, oh, why don't you use a 40 series graphics card? It's like, dude, this was during COVID where they weren't out yet, and I kind of made a judgment where I was like, hey, I want to get these cards and make this PC. And by the time you guys saw the video, I had already used my PC for like 6 months or like 7 months, and this is an important port. This is an important part of like my channel period where I wanted to upload videos and get things like that I couldn't do off my laptop at the time. So I mean, yeah, having the actual computer was kind of the most important part. Yeah, I made it really expensive for myself, but I kind of was like, okay, I can make it expensive, but I also need to get it done. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. And to be honest, the prices are a lot more affordable now, and that does sting a bit, but the 4000 series is, the 40 series is better than the 30 series, but in terms of things that I'm going to be using this stuff for, honestly, I think maybe in the future, I'd rather just get a second PC than upgrading to like, oh, I should have gotten a 4000 series card, because yeah, I mean, when it comes to these monitors, the main thing, this QD OLED takes up a lot of graphic ability. Like the graphics card and the CPU, the main thing that's drawing out the power out of this is that QD OLED. Because man, it looks amazing, but it takes a lot of juice. 175 hertz and 1440 on an ultra wide, it looks amazing, but on an OLED as well is pretty intense. And the fan on this thing is always kind of going a little hard, you know, trying to make sure that everything is cool and manageable. In terms of the 29-inch, you guys can't see it on the video, like of me showing it, but it's a little thinner than most monitors. And I remember seeing this monitor in person, and I was like, this is the monitor I need for my vertical side monitor, because I knew I wanted one side monitor. And I didn't want like a regular monitor. I wanted something a little longer, so I was looking through ultra wides, but for some reason a lot of ultra wides are curved, and I just didn't want a curved ultra wide like as on the side. I thought it was gonna look weird, so luckily I found this one. It was flat, it looked great, a little on the heavier side, so obviously with the monitor arm and everything I was a little kind of concerned that like, oh, it's gonna be so bulky, but I've grown used to it. I kind of just put it to the side here, and it's all good. Like I don't even like, I don't think I've touched it once. I haven't really, you know, it's ironic, I have these things on monitor arms and I haven't touched either of them. Like I haven't moved them, mostly because I don't have a reason to move them. I like the fact that like obviously they're floating and I have like real estate on my table, and that's great. That's kind of all I needed. I was just like, I just want them to be kind of in the air where I want them to be, and yeah, it works out pretty well to be honest. But yeah, you might be realizing, oh hey dude, you don't have a 4K monitor. I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys also are like, whoa, that's a QD OLED, that's pretty nice. But yeah, I don't have a I have a high refresh rate, you know. I mean, 175 is not bad. As long as it's 144, you're kind of good. I'm not too picky on the 240 and all that stuff. I don't care. The frame rates, it's fine. I understand there is a gap. Like I would rather go 360. If I really cared about frame rate, I'd go higher. You know what I mean? I go the 360 route with some like crazy I think, is it Asus? Asus has like a crazy one that's like, I think it's 360. Is it 360 with 1440? That sounds ridiculous, but I think there is a monitor that's like absolutely like redonkulous, dude. But I probably would have gone for that one if I cared as much, but I wanted the QD OLED. Like when it was announced, it was around the time where I was deciding which monitors to go for, and this one was like no brainer. When it came out, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for this thing. This is gonna be my main monitor. Now, without spoiling anything, I think in the future I will add another monitor, and it will be a 4K one, more specifically for like console gaming, because that is the one issue that's kind of glaring, where console gaming isn't going to be perfect on this QD OLED. It's not going to be made for it. So later on, I may get a monitor for that to fix that solution. I'm thinking I'm going to put it up top on the, so it'll be angled, but I'm not too sure. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I just didn't want to have a regular side monitor, and I always knew I wanted the main monitor to be an ultra wide. For a long time, I was thinking of getting one of the LG ones, but when I saw the QD OLED, it's just a no-brainer, because OLEDs I was worried about burning and everything, but QD OLED, I was like, you know what, I'm willing to take a risk, and this thing has been amazing. Like, it's been great. I was tempted to go for like multiple monitor layout, like maybe a triple monitor, so it's like each monitor, maybe I could have one for like frame rate, one that's like 4K, and another that's like console 4K high refresh rate. Maybe it was tempting, but at the same time I also didn't feel like it was very unique. I don't know, to me I wanted like my setup to feel a little more personal. So the monitors, I think, are the first thing people look at, and if my monitor layout was kind of the same as everyone else's, it just doesn't feel right. And plus, I don't know, to me, I just like ultra wides. I like not seeing the gap in between monitors. So I'm one of those guys. That's just me. I know I do have two monitors that have a clear gap, and the camera is literally right in between them, and the microphone, but like, it's angled, and you know, it's meant to be that way. So it's like, this is all my like technical side stuff on the side monitor that I really don't want to be a part of the main monitor here, where all my actual like browsing and watching and gaming stuff is happening, right? So far it played out pretty well, to be honest. I have no complaints with it. It looks great. I am kind of curious though, because like, I know things have changed now. I was worried about like the risk I was taking of like, what if I get this QD OLED and then like a better monitor is gonna show up? I can't tell you how much I was thinking like, dude, if they have a 4K QD OLED ultra wide, because the 4K thing, that was the only thing that was bothering me, is that I didn't have a 4K resolution. It's honestly, like with the QD OLED, it doesn't matter. Like it looks better, honestly. But I wanted a true resolution to 4K because I thought it would look better for like my editing, and if I wanted to ever upload and output into 4K, then I could do it. But I was like, you know what, that seems like more of an end game kind of plan, and I was gonna keep it to that. So yeah, I didn't mind. But yeah, I'm kind of curious, you know, like what would you guys have done? Like, that's why I wanted to do monitors as their own video, because I was kind of curious as to like, there are a lot of monitors, and it's not just like, oh, you stick to one monitor. It can be like, yeah, you stick to one, and then you have like a side or a peripheral, or you have multiple. So I was kind of curious as to how people were going to react to this. I know like mine's different, but it's not that different. I have seen a lot of people go triple monitor route or dual monitor route. A lot of people stick to 27 inches. I like 27-inch monitors, but it depends, right? So I just wanted to see what you guys' reaction to this was, mostly on comments of like what you guys, if you have setups, what your layout is, or if you had like a dream setup where you can have the budget, what would you actually put in there? Just for curiosity's sake, because honestly, I just kind of use this for inspiration and kind of like perspective. Like if there's something I missed in terms of like, oh yeah, if I did have a 27-inch or like random, I don't know. I know there's like those 55, 49-inch monitors from like Samsung that are ridiculous. I knew for a fact I wasn't going to touch those. I was like, no, thank you. Because the real estate I have here, it literally would have taken up the entire desk, and I just didn't know where I was going to put my camera then. I knew it had to be 34 inches. If I was going to go ultra wide, it had to be a 34-inch. I can't tell you how many times I use this goddamn ruler to measure every goddamn thing and be like, okay, the depth is all good. Because I was just thinking, like, if it doesn't fit, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. I bought it for nothing, especially when I started seeing some of the prices on this stuff. I was like, yeah, these are not cheap. So I had to make sure that they were all going to fit. And they did, luckily. Thank God. It turns out I know how to measure, which is good. There's a joke there, but I'm not even going to try it. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys would have put in your monitors. What? Let me know down below what monitors you would have put into your setup, is what I meant to say. But I can't speak English. because I'm trying to make the video quicker, but I keep rambling, so it makes it longer, and now I'm just eating my words. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of content with me covering my setup and me going breaking down more and more of it, I think next video I might do. It's either gonna be it's gonna be sound and light. Wait, yeah, it's gonna be light, sound, and camera, or it's gonna be peripherals, which I know is random, but yeah. I also don't know if I want to do one explaining like the furniture layout of it too, because low key, you guys would be surprised. That was the first thing I did, and there was a lot of thought put into it. There was a lot of thought put into a lot of this stuff, if I'm being honest, which is kind of sad. Like I really need other hobbies to maybe, I don't know, like go outside or something. But yeah, there's a lot here. Also, there's a laptop, but I that's technically a display. It is a display, but I didn't really touch on it mostly because that's for schoolwork, and I thought I don't know if it's really necessary mentioning that. But yeah, those are the monitors, dude. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should have touched on what the 29-inch was, but I think there's only one monitor that has this layout, but it's an LG. So if you look up 29-inch LG, you pretty much found the one I have. I don't think there's any other ones that are 29 inches. It's a really random measurement, which works surprisingly well for a vertical side display. I don't know. I don't know why LG. I looked into the history of it. I think at some point LG was like, "Yeah, this will be a main monitor people will use," and I was like, "Dude, this thing is so thin. Like the height on it is weird. It's really weird. Like it makes displays look really odd. Unless you turn it vertically, then it makes sense. Otherwise, I don't know what they were thinking." But anyways, those are the monitors. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, though, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and see ya.